Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this episode of the Pave It Forward podcast. My name is Phil Metzger, and with me is Kevin Gray, and we are here to help leaders in the paving industry who are looking to run more efficiently, meet their ideal customer, and improve the lives of those around them through meaningful work. Kevin, how are we doing today?
I'm good, brother. Ready to rock and roll it.
I hear you.
Super energized, and probably because I'm going to getting away to Jamaica here in a couple of days, so I'm in a good mood. I am in a good freaking mood.
Yeah, I would say that that is kind of one of the built-in better parts of the slower season for you, is that getting that opportunity to go somewhere hot sounds pretty amazing right now. So where are you heading?
We're going to Jamaica, staying on the beach of Negril.
Nice.
So yeah, never been to Jamaica, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I hope you enjoy your time. The time off, I know, is well-deserved, especially after this last season. Hopefully you can finish resting up and get some good family time in there as well. And come back ready.
Really looking forward to spending time with the kiddos and the family. And it's great to get away and relax a little bit, recharge, because we've got pretty ambitious goals for 2022. So we're going to need to be locked and loaded.
That's right. I love it. Well,
Right.
I hope everyone out there today who is listening today is having a great day. And today we look to bring you, the Asphalt business owner, the value that you were looking for. And I really want to thank everyone who has reached out in support, those who have commented directly on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and those who have inquired about our services. It really is motivational. You know, this has been a long time coming as far as the opportunities and what we're getting ready to announce at the end of the episode. But to just really have the backing of the industry, you know, we set out with goals to really help out anyone that we can out there who's a paving business owner and just needing some more education, resources, or just someone to kind of talk things over with business-wise. We really appreciate you guys reaching out. And more to come on that at the end of the episode here. But I do want, that's right. We do have a few sources where we gather a lot of this information for you all out there. One of them is the Paving Industry Report, and that is just a brief survey that we're going to be running, about 20-25 questions. It's running right now at paveitforwardinc.com. That's paveitforwardinc.com. If you don't mind participating, what that does is it just kind of gives everyone the pulse of the industry, you know, lets everyone know what kind of problems they're facing, how we might kind of answer some of these questions in general. And we'll also get some opinions from other personalities within the paving industry who have a lot of knowledge to share. So if you wouldn't mind heading on over to Pave It Forward Inc., that's paveitforwardinc.com, and you'll see the directions there on how to fill out that form. And we really appreciate it. And if you want to, you can also subscribe there, and that way you'll be notified of the results when they come out. And then any other event or piece of news that we have coming out that we think is valuable, feel free to sign up for that as well. But today we are going to talk about the office responsibilities when it comes to a paving business. And Kevin, your company's been around for a long time. You came in and kind of had, we'll say, somewhat of a structure in place. You had butts and seats. But I wanted
butts and seats.
That's right. But you know, you have kind of taken it upon yourself and the company to change and kind of solidify how those operations run. And if it's something that I've learned from observing in a general business, it's that this is going to be an ongoing process, especially if you plan on growing. So I wanted to kind of diagnose with you today, just if you were a paving business owner and, you know, you only have maybe it's just you and one or two other employees, or it's getting to that point where you really are thinking you could use some help on the office side of things. Do you kind of have any ideas or suggestions as far as maybe 3 responsibilities that can be taken off your shoulders by office staff, or something that even you specifically really enjoyed having some help with that might be able to be addressed there?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing right out of the gate is just someone answering the phone for you. I mean, that's can be a huge task, and it can be a huge burden on a business owner if, you know, especially just starting out, or you're a small organization with just a handful of employees. I know a lot of guys within the industry that I've talked to that are just getting started. They're, very small or young companies. You know, a lot of that a lot of those questions and feedback have come through our social platforms and messaging. So really appreciate that, by the way, and keep that stuff coming, by the way.
Absolutely.
That, you know, they're so overwhelmed with just handling the call volume, and that's a good problem to have. You know, if your phone's ringing that much to where it becomes, you know, kind of an issue or it becomes overwhelming, then that means you're doing at least something right. To people are actually directed to your phone number. You know, people are calling you in, but that can become very burdensome for sure. So getting someone who can handle the calls coming in is very important. I mean, we even back in 2010, 11, when we were transitioning into ownership of this business, I mean, we were fielding 12 to 1,500 inbound leads, you know, every season. So that's 12 or 1,500, 12 to 1,500 customers that you're dealing with, you know, having them call, asking you questions, asking for an appointment, asking, you know, can someone come out and take a look at our property? So that's a lot of information to gather. That's a lot of information to organize and to keep track of, and get yourself or your sales staff, if you're lucky enough to have a salesperson too, you know, get their schedule filled out. You know, I know a lot of these companies, I mean, they're answering the phone. They're scheduling themselves to go run the sales call. They're doing the estimate. They're doing the proposal. They're collecting the signature, and they're also installing the job. So, I mean, you know, a lot of these very small, again, young companies, I mean, they're really handling a lot of responsibilities. So getting some support on that side is huge. Another one would be doing, you know, taking care of your finances, taking care of your books. And if you're not doing that, I highly recommend that you know, get yourself some software. You know, QuickBooks. You know, QuickBooks is almost, you know, easy, you know, almost dumbed down enough to where on a very basic level that most anybody can do that. You know, even if you're just, you know, $250,000 a year company, you really need to throw away the notepad. And, you know, a lot of people are just keeping their books in a spiral notebook, you know, their income, their expenses, stuff like that. If you can get that organized into QuickBooks or something like that, is very beneficial. And even if you're small, I mean, that's another thing that can be very time consuming, to keep accurate and timely, you know, record of your income and expenses, because that's definitely one thing you don't want to get behind on, because it's that's when mistakes happen. That's when you start, you know, losing track of, you know, oh, when did I buy that? When did we collect that check? You know, just it can become very overwhelming as well. So someone that's can help you out, you know, on the financial side, you know, kind of keeping an eye and running your books, even if it's just keeping your check register for you, you know, just simple stuff like that. You know, those are two big ones there for sure. I think if you can get someone to help you out with that, so you can, you know, be a little more focused on operating and growing the business, and you know, maybe running the production operation side of things. So I would probably kind of start there, and it's tough, because I've always heard of, and what I've learned through my mentors, the mentorship I've received, and from doing it myself now, is you almost don't want the person that's answering the phone to be handling the books as well, or you want to make sure that person that's handling the phones is setting aside some quiet time to be messing with the finances and the numbers. I've got Kimberly and Cindy here from my office sitting in today to listen to this. So it's they've both had to do both at its given time. You know, one of them may have been out of the office, and you know, probably both agree that it's very hard to be trying to concentrate to do the financial stuff and run the books while the phone's ringing. Like you want to keep those books, you want to keep those numbers tight. You don't want mistakes there, because, you know, even just a handful of mistakes can cause you, lead you to making some very poor business decisions before you know it. So you've almost got to separate the two, or if you're so small that you're only able to afford or employ, you know, one office staff, you want to give that person some direction to where they're very they know how important it is to set aside quiet time to be doing the financial stuff. So, whether that be, first thing in the morning before the phones start ringing, or even later in the day, if it gets, 4 in the afternoon or something, hey, we're shutting the phones off at 4, from 4 to 5. I'm going to focus on the books, the financial stuff, and, just to make sure that they are giving their full attention to that, because it's super important.
Sure. And I'll get back to the running the book side of things, but I didn't want to leave the director of first impressions topic just quite yet, because, when you had originally talked about bringing someone in to help with the front desk, I think, I'm not sure you called it that, but, typically receptionist front desk is what people think. And unfortunately, it's a role that a lot of business owners completely undervalue. But when you talk about the person that is not only having to gather the accurate information, but is also the first live person, a good majority of the time that a lot of customers will talk to. Can you just maybe talk a little bit more about a small checklist of things you may want out of your person answering the phones, or directors of first impressions, if you decide to go that route?
Yeah, that's exactly why we take that position very seriously. That's why we don't call that position a receptionist, or we don't use the word receptionist around here. We don't use the word secretary around here, because the people involved in this office staff are way
kick
more.
Your butt.
Well, they'll kick my butt, and they're just way more qualified, and they bring an extreme value to your business, especially if you've got the right person.
That's right.
So Kimberly, who runs our front desk, her title is director of first impressions.
I love that.
And what that means, she is the first point of contact that our customers who have found us, who have decided they're willing to give us a shot. And most of the time, most consumers are calling at least three companies to get an estimate, to get evaluations, to get a proposal from. So it is extremely important that they're getting not just a good, but an amazing, welcoming feeling from that person answering the desk. What is the first impression that I am getting from this company that I have decided to give a shot to do business with? So it's finding that person that takes that very seriously is important. That's a role, and we've talked about this a lot in another podcast, is we're just putting butts in seats. Mm-hmm. That is definitely one you don't want to take lightly, and just have someone answering the phone. That you want them to be enthusiastic. You want them to care. You want them to be, and this is something that comes in time with some training and attention. You want them to be able to provide education to your customer, because more than likely they're going to start asking some questions right then and there. And I'm not saying that person has to, be a professional, an asphalt technician or a professional in the paving industry, but the more info you can get to them so that they can be dangerous when they're talking to that customer and sound like they know what they're talking about, is critical. Because, let's face it, that customer doesn't have a warm and fuzzy feeling about who they've just spoken to. That first impression they're getting for that company, you're probably already getting bumped down to, to the bottom of the list of the 3 people they've just called. They're like, well, that's,
sure.
I guess I'll have them come out and give an estimate, but they didn't even seem like they really cared to come out. She didn't really know what the hell she was talking about. I don't know if I should have called those folks. So,
and if you do get the job, they're not going to be necessarily happy to see you, a happy client once you get there, if they had that first impression.
Right. Exactly. So, that's critical. Yeah. And that's tough to find. We've been through, golly, Cindy, we've been through 7 people, and you've been here. This is your 9th season. We've been through 7, 8 folks at that front desk. just because we're looking for all those things in that person, it's hard to find. We've been so blessed and fortunate to have found Kim, and she has come in and is an absolute rock star for our business. I think she is directly responsible for boosting our closing ratio. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that she plays an integral role in the people that decide to do business with us.
Yeah, we definitely need to do a first impressions episode and just have Kim on and just pick her brain, because she really is great, and she does bring you talk about the enthusiasm. Like she just has a presence about her on the phone. Even, of course, you get it when you're in person, but to be able to translate that over the phone and be knowledgeable too, because you can write up those scripts and say, like, this is the type of customer we're looking for. This is the response in this answer, or this is the answer in this situation, blah, blah, blah. But until, that person really catches on to the business, they're not going to be able to truly give an enthusiastic first impression. So we'll definitely get Kim on here. Maybe even Cindy too. I think Kim might be a little bit more voluntary on the side to get on here.
Kimberly said she'd wear a dinosaur suit.
There we go. Make it interesting.
And I tell you what, I mean, if you are, and like I said, I mean, it's taken us 7-8 years to find the right person, and that's just a tough position. So if you are in a situation where you just out of necessity have to put a butt in a seat, I cannot urge you enough to have a very good script for that person. Take the time to coach them, take the time to train them. Take the time. I mean, it's as important as taking the time to train your folks in the field that are actually installing the product. They have got to understand how important their role is with the business. It's not a receptionist. It's not just someone sitting there fielding the phone. It is way, way bigger than that. So business owners, I'm encouraging you, I'm telling you, spend the time to make sure that person understands how critical their role is with your business.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are going to get some value from that. But I do want to get over to, if you are able or decide to have someone else taking care of your company books. As I know, there's a lot of people that get into business because they see an opportunity, they can do the work, they might love doing the work, they could see themselves being passionate about it and doing it day after day. But then when it comes to the books, either they don't want to do it, or they don't feel like they have the resources, and they just really want to pass it off. And I know in a lot of situations, this could be a family member, it could be a spouse, it could be a good friend. But besides trustworthiness, which I think we can all understand the importance of, being able to have someone that's not going to lie, cheat, or steal when dealing with the company money, is there any type of other responsibilities or qualities that, if you see it in a friend or family member, that's a good thing. But if you don't see it, you may want to consider doing something else. Is there any certain qualities, or is there any certain first steps you would recommend when people are looking to hand off the book's responsibility?
Well, I mean, I think, you said, trustworthiness would probably be numero uno for sure. But again, you want someone that understands how important that is. You cannot run or operate a good business. You cannot make, fiscal, solid fiscal decisions if you've got poor information. So, and that comes from the field too. You got to have good information coming in, trash in, trash out, right? So you've got to have good information coming in for them to work with to begin with. And it's just, you want someone obviously that's, decent math skills for sure, but you want someone that is very thorough, that is very attention to detail oriented, and just that can really focus on and understanding. And if you've got to fill a seat here, put a butt in a chair here, it may seem expensive or a waste of money, but there are plenty of resources out there. I mean, you can even get on YouTube and learn some of this stuff, but there are plenty of courses out there, classes, seminars, whatever. that you can send these people to get some very good instruction and training, so they can really understand how all the numbers work together, because they all work together. The information you're putting in leads to the information that you're getting out of it, and you really got to understand how all that ties together to, to make these financial reports, and whatnot. And you gotta understand your balance sheet. You gotta understand, your assets. You gotta understand depreciation. You gotta understand all of it. So, most of the, Cindy, you've looked into some of these courses in the past. I mean, what, $2,500 or so, you can get a decent, like, 8-week kind of training, QuickBooks training, accounting, general accounting principles, finance, kind of stuff. I mean, it's, trust me that, if it's $2,500 to $5,000, whatever you've got to spend to get that person, trained and qualified to do what you need them to do, I guarantee you that that investment is going to pay for itself tenfold, because one or two mistakes, it's going to cost you $2,500 to $5,000 very easily. So,
Sure.
Again, take the time, take the financial resources to get these people what they need. I think so oftentimes that people view their office staff as like, all right, yep, you're the receptionist, you're going to do the books, and they're almost forgotten in the operation, right? They're almost just, just sitting there. They're just someone that's in the office. You almost you direct all of your attention and time and effort into the field guys, right? Into your production stuff. So, like I said earlier with the director of first impressions, I mean, make sure you're giving them an equal amount of time, attention, training, whatever that you give everyone in the business.
Sure. Yeah. And it's, and as you kind of said too, it's the title of role, or giving someone a title that is traditional and just kind of letting them free is really not going to help you do anything but possibly maintain what you're doing right now. There's not going to be a whole lot of growth if there's no education there, if everyone kind of doesn't understand what's going on. And you even mentioned that with the field in the last episode, was that cross-training people is so valuable. Not that people need to be cross-trained in the office, but I mean, it has to help equally bit as much. Should one person be down for another one to be able to step up. But to also just understand the flow of the business. And I know that Cindy has also helped you as far as organizing the logistics for the crew. And so this may not translate perfectly to every company, but I was wondering if you could also maybe speak to more with those roles kind of combining for some people, but just maybe some key tasks or some key qualities for someone who, if someone's looking to maybe pass off the responsibility of running the logistics for the crew and the planning for the week.
Yeah. And again, it's, being organized, being thorough, understanding, what are our scopes of work, understanding, we've got 4 or 5 basic scopes we do. We've got, new ground or dirt work. We've got asphalt, concrete removal and replacement. We've got seal coating. We've got, overlay resurfacing. We've got, paving over stone, paving over gravel. So we've got, basic scopes of work that we do. So, I mean, first and foremost, you need to make sure they understand what each and every one of those look like, and what the time frame may look like, and they've got that. I tell you what, I mean, they need to spend some time out in the field observing. That's I think that is the absolute, and it's hard to do because you're going to pull them out of the office. But again, sometimes you got to slow down to speed up and get outside the box a little bit and say, hey, this person's going to be out of the office for, maybe it's 1 day a week, maybe it's half a day, 2 or 3 times a week, but let them go out in the field and watch what it is that you actually do, understand how long things actually take based on scope of work, based on your manpower, based on your equipment, based on your trucking and logistics, your capabilities and capacities. Because without that, I mean, they're drawing blank. I mean, they're picking some jobs out and they're hoping that it makes sense,
Mhm.
and the logistics is probably the biggest piece of that. So we keep all of our work organized up on a map. We got maps we hang on the wall that's got our county and some surrounding counties of Jefferson County here in Kentucky. And every time we get a contract in, we're putting a flag up on the map. So, and every scope of work we've got is color coded, so we can quickly glance and see, if it's white, it's pave over gravel; it's blue, it's an overlay; if it's green, it involves new ground or excavation work. And that way, we can take just a quick glance at that map. The flags have the customer's name on it. So we'll, find a group of work on that map. We'll go to the file cabinet, pull out those contracts, and see if they make sense for a day's work. So understanding logistics is a big piece of it. Making sure you're grouping your work in a logistically sound fashion, for sure, and then understanding the scope of work that your crews are actually out there producing. And that's a biggie. And the only way, like I said, the only way you're gonna learn that is getting out there and watching. And again, that's something that as the business owner needs to be helping with, especially in the beginning. The foremen need to be helping with that. We have every Wednesday we have weekly scheduling meetings. So it's myself and then Cindy, who is the on the office side, kind of the director of operations. We've got our field director of operations involved in that. And then we've got the foreman and the trucking manager involved with that Wednesday morning meeting. And we sit down as a group, and you don't have to, if you're not that big and you don't have to sit down with 6-7 people to make these decisions. But when we do the kind of volume that we do and have the amount of crews out there working that we do, we all need to be on the same page. We all need to have some input and share our opinions on what's feasible, what's a feasible workload for the day, what makes sense, based on weather, based on time of day, traffic, logistics, access, turnaround times to the plant, and on and on and on and on. So for us, it's a group effort.
Sure.
But again, if you're small, you just need to get someone up to speed as quickly as you possibly can to understand what it is you're doing on a day in, day out basis.
Sure. And that it seems.
I hope I answered your question there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it seems like this person is communication, and accepting communication is a huge part of it, but also being able to learn and take the task on for themselves. Of course, there's going to be a learning curve with learning the area, learning the process, and I'm sure if you have someone that already knows the process, that's definitely a benefit. But it's easy to see why Cindy in your office can also cross train in sales, and she is out on a site a lot, and she does get involved with every aspect of it, because otherwise it doesn't matter if you have a meeting and people just get in there and shout at each other or do all that stuff. It really takes the ability to try to understand what's happening in the company. So that takes time. Be patient. But yeah, you definitely have a killer employee / worker in Cindy.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, that's why it was so easy for her to transition into some sales last year too, because she understands so much about the business. Going out and selling our product now is pretty easy transition for her. So she's began to go out and start selling some of these residential paving projects for us, and it was like riding a bike for her, man. She took right off and does an amazing job at that for us too. So yeah,
we're gonna get Cindy on,
and again,
if not all these episodes eventually.
Yeah, one more point on that. We talk about first impressions and making people feel warm and fuzzy, man. This person also needs to be very good on the phone, because this is the person they're talking to. If they're setting up the schedule and they're building out the logistics on this, they're most likely also going to be the person, especially if it's not you or you don't have a field operations guy out there. I mean, they're going to be the ones calling this customer, telling them, hey, we're coming next Thursday at 10 o'clock. That again, I mean, you need to be setting your crew up for success walking into doing business with this customer. And if the person calling to set up the schedule is calling this customer and say, hey, this is when we're coming, if that customer's not feeling warm and fuzzy after that phone call and confident and feeling good that the guys or the crew that are getting ready to send out to do this work, if they get any glimpse that these guys, if she's not interested in the phone call or gets any inclination that our guys may not know what we're doing or whatever impression they get on that phone call from the person setting up the work, is setting up your crew for success or failure. You're going to have a customer that's kind of laid back and is going to let you do your work, let you do your job, because they've instilled so much trust from your director of first impressions, from the first time they called, from the interaction with the salesperson, and then the interaction with the person actually scheduling the work. If they feel really good with all three of those transactions, then your crew is going to be set up to have a pretty good day, most likely.
Yeah. And that's also where, kind of the communication and trust that your brand and your company is who they say they are, and you can feel it within the company. That's also where culture comes in. A lot of what we talk about is going to be operations, but when you do actually get down to it, for the foreman to have the trust in that person that's communicating with the customer, to not only accurately tell them the facts of the project, but to also communicate in a way that says this is going to be an experience that you're probably going to enjoy more than any other paving company in the local market. To really hammer home that the pride that's taken in the work, the team that is ADC, everything about just the warm and fuzzies, if you want to call it that, but it's really also just the cohesiveness of the company. What an incredibly important role. And, that's, again, the education is where that comes in. And Kevin, I don't know if I can take it anymore, because we need to get to our announcement. Our announcement, man. And
are you bursting at the seams, my friend?
I'm bursting at the seams. I feel great that we covered the topics that we were supposed to cover in this episode. I'm feeling it. People got some value from what we had to say.
I hope so.
But with your permission, I'd like to go ahead and tell the world what we've been working on.
Let's do it. I think this is both of our thoughts that won't stop right now, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, Kevin and I have been working, and along with the staff at Mirror Marketing, have been working very hard now for 4 years to try to figure out how to best help the paving industry. And that is an absolute fact, and we take it very seriously. And the only reason we're sitting here is due to the hours of research, creativity, testing, retesting, and the method's working. And most importantly, it's been inviting people in to see the options at ADC, and Kevin getting to visit with other business owners. And we've really enjoyed helping people in this industry. And we've really realized that there is a huge gap in education. We both are here because of the people that came before us, that shared their knowledge. And we are announcing Pave It Forward Consulting. And what that means is throughout the next year, 2 years, 3 years, we will be taking on clients in a manner to help them run their operations more smoothly, identify points within their own market that may need addressing, also help them with their marketing and culture. And we will be starting our first class of 5 that will be going through this spring. But basically, what we offer with Pave It Forward Consulting, we're a consulting firm that is rooted in market culture and content marketing principles. And basically what that means is that we found some research to back up what we've been doing with ADC over the last 4 or 5 years, and how we intend to help people. We focus on things that are rooted in market culture, which are these 7 things: service quality, interpersonal relationships, the selling task, organization, internal communications, innovativeness, and the frontline leader, which is that 7th and final and most important one. We are looking to work with paving business owners who just really want a more solid foundation for their business, whether it be in the office, whether it be in the field, whether it be kind of shaping that company that you are wanting to build it into. We're really looking to turn people who have a passion for owning a business in the paving industry, and rather than just being a job that they show up and they're an owner for, really give them the ability to run a business, to control the future, and to help their employees. So this is what we are getting ready to offer. For our first we're looking for 3 to 5 ideal clients. And what we're going to do is, if you headed over to paveitforwardinc.com, that's paveitforwardinc.com, you will have a submission process. And what that's going to involve is we're going to ask you to film a short video about yourself and your company. And we'll have a few other questions for you to answer there. But we're trying to find this class for a 3-month period. And what this is this going to be a 3-month period where we all meet every 2 weeks, but listen to everything that we're going to offer here. What you're going to get over the 3 months is you're going to start off with a scheduled meeting with Kevin and myself. We are going to come out to your company and we are going to look at your sales, your marketing, your office operations, your paving operations, and we're going to help you with your equipment assessment as well. And so over these 3 months, what we're going to do is we're going to meet every 2 weeks with the people that are in the program. You're going to get a visit from us. You're going to get a 3-day visit with ADC Paving for you and a guest. You're going to get, at the end of the program, my marketing company, Mirror Marketing, we will come and film 3 videos for you over a 3-day project of your choice. And this project will most likely be one that we talk about over the 3 months. What we do is we're going to help you kind of identify what's best for your company now as far as making more money and running more efficiently. And then what we will do is when you find a job towards the end of the program, we'll come in and film that job so you can use it as base content. You can use these 3 videos in whatever way you want to, but we can help you with your website as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you these assets to properly represent the company that you are looking to become and that we are planning throughout these 3 months. So you will get a 3-day visit to ADC. You will get a 3-day visit from Kevin and Phil. At the end of the program, you'll get another 3-day visit on an ideal project where we will interview you, the business owner, and we will get drone footage along with other HD options. You'll get 50 HD photos. You'll also get all your brand assets that you might never need for business cards or other publications. And we will leave you with a document that we discuss throughout the entire time together with your 3 goals for the rest of this year and an execution, a plan on how to achieve it. There's going to be a lot more to come on this, but we could not be so excited. Kevin, thank you for letting me getting it all out. It's my thought that won't stop for years now. But man, I'm so excited that we get to actually travel the country and work with some of these business owners in a more official capacity, especially since you've been getting all these requests for years now.
Yeah. I couldn't be more excited to help these folks out, man, and do it alongside of you, man. You bring a ton of value on the marketing and transparent, culture marketing side of things, and really, and that's what's helped grow our business immensely in the past just couple of years, is just the style of marketing that you've brought and the branding that you've brought to ADC. And couldn't be more happy and proud to do this alongside you, man. Really looking forward to meeting these 3 to 5 candidates that we're going to get in for this first initial class here, the maiden voyage, if you will. Again, so that's going to be an application submission process to fill those spots, man, and looking forward to come seeing you guys soon. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's been years in the making. We get so much feedback on social, so many messages, questions, asking for advice or tips or tricks. And I'm so glad we're going to be able to package this in a fashion that brings extreme value to people, to where they're really going to see a return on this investment and but they are going to take their businesses, to that next level and set them up for success for a career that they can really be proud of. That's right. And they get to do it with a couple other people, which was a huge, I think, decision, and that we decided to go with, that not only we could meet every 2 weeks, but they could also experience it through other business owners that are really serious about growing their business and really impacting some lives in the process. So this absolutely does take some effort, but I know there's plenty of people out there that are asking for it. And to all those people that have already sent us requests, we will be offering, maybe some a la carte services in the future. But one thing's for sure, this will never be less expensive.
But also, we are dedicating our time just to this project. We're not going to be doing anything outside with Pave It Forward Consulting for the next 4 months, but it's a 3-month program. But we are going to concentrate on all our energy on helping you business owners and being there for you. So again, please head over to paveitforwardinc.com. That's paveitforwardinc.com, and feel free to read more about it. But go ahead and put your submission in there. You will have a couple weeks maybe, but don't take too long planning it out, because we will be watching these as they come in. We already have 2 or 3 people that inquired about this service without even knowing that we were getting ready to offer it. So we're going to go ahead and make sure to send emails to those 4 people that have already reached out about possibly working together. But again, we are so excited to work with you, the paving industry business owner, to help improve your processes. But as far as this next episode, we are going to be going live. Kevin has actually volunteered to use a slight sliver of his Jamaican vacation to talk about the National Pavement Expo. And I know Kevin, I know we're very similar, so it's not like you're not going to be thinking about this stuff on vacation anyways, but I do thank you for that. But keep your eyes open. Feel free to, again, subscribe to the newsletter through paveitforwardinc.com, or catch up with us on social as we announce the timing of that podcast next week. But we're going to be talking about our past experiences with the National Pavement Expo. We're going to be talking about a little bit to people that might want to join in on the conversation. Maybe we'll have some people that are also going to be speaking at the Pavement Expo about what we can expect, not only from their class, but from what they think this expo might be like. So we're excited. Catch up with us. And if you want to actually come see us in Charlotte on February 24th, we will be leading a session at 1:00 on how documentary style marketing changed my business. Feel free to use one of our resources. Again, we are on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please feel free to reach out. We are really getting pumped by everything that's happening here, and the impact that's able to be made through all the people that have helped us grow into where we are, and make some friends in the paving industry as well. So, Kevin, any last thoughts for the people today as we're wrapping up?
Man, I don't think we can add any more to that, brother. I'm good. I'm ready to get this thing firing on all cylinders. We're taking the maximum of five people, right?
That's right.
For this first class, this first group. So if you're interested, man, get those submissions in, get those applications in. Let's do this together. Let's take it to the next level together. And you know what's cool, man? I love helping people. And although we're offering our service to people, to give our advice and our assistance, I usually end up learning as much from them as they're going to learn from us. I mean, it kind of takes me back to my roots, and stuff that I've gone through and thought about and even forgotten about that I'm reminded of. Keeps the iron sharp. So,
well, even when you were talking about pulling your jobs, and I've seen the map and the boards in the office, and I've seen you go over. I mean, I've seen the process 1,000 times, but to just hear you describe it, like I never put it together. I never put the process together. And you had talked about you tried to add up the value for some of the things that you've learned as a company, and also some things that other companies have learned from you just by spending 1 to 3 days over the season. And the value has been tremendous. And you can try to put a numerical value on that, but to just have these conversations, I mean, the only thing that the marketing really did for us was opened doors. And we're talking about opportunity here. This is an opportunity to take years off the learning curve, as well as just being in a position that you maybe either once dreamed of for your company or are wanting to rekindle. You just don't know how. Man, I got goosebumps. I'm so excited about this stuff, man. I'm so excited.
To you, brother.
So let's just hopefully we can give the people what they want, but head on over to paveitforwardinc.com. Feel free to send us a question as well. We'll have just a general contact there as well. So please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll get back to you in a timely manner, and we'll kick some butt together this year. How about that, Kev?
Sounds good. Congratulations, by the way, man. Like you've put a lot of your heart and soul into this over the years. I mean, just want to say congratulations, and I'm super proud of you, man.
Thanks. Yeah, and we're this is just going to continue to go on. I'm sorry, but you talked about like extending the education, and one of the benefits we plan on offering is taking the things that we're learning as we go through this process and using asking these business owners if it's okay if we use them. They will get to okay any video we use for promotion, of course, but they also get the positive impact of the residual promotion that we're going to do. We're planning on offering whatever our biggest findings are, just some small platform to where people can log on and see these things, so they'll get free access to that. It's just a ball that's just starting, and we'd be thrilled to have anyone that's considering us submit, so we can do this all together. And let's go.
There's going to be countless, tactical stuff that you get with this pro. We're going to give you the stuff you need in your hands to take home with you, and really basically giving you a toolbox of what you need to take and implement. It's not going to be a 3-month deal and then poof, we're gone. It's going to be, It's a commitment from us. We're going to give you all the tools that you need to be set up for success. So
that's absolutely right. Yeah. That's absolutely right. Well, let's make it happen. Well, thank you, everyone.
Let's see who the 5 are. Let's see who's ready.
Oh, they're going to get some promotion. I understand there might be some personalities out there that may feel like they're not ready for the camera, but that also doesn't mean that you're not ready to lead this company by example. And we'll definitely get into those leadership qualities, but yeah, I'm excited to see who those leaders will be. But thank you.
Let's see who's ready to take their business to the next level.
That's right, man. And quickly and without excuse.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, this has been the Pave It Forward podcast. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. But on this podcast, we aim to help leaders in the paving industry who are looking to run more efficiently, meet their ideal customer, and improve the lives of those around them through meaningful work. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next episode.